What's up?
Oh, my guy.
That's how you doing it?
You see the LSU colors? What up, my guy? Hey, this is the first time I'm 2 for 2 on the show. Two Floridas, 2 LSU.
That is the first time.
How come I didn't know you went to LSU?
I don't know how you know that. I guess I wasn't big enough.
See what he brought in here. He got a
I
double.
didn't know you went to LSU. Who you play with?
Shoot, who not? Rohan. So I was there. Rohan, Trail. The first year we won the Sugar Bowl with Nick was my senior year.
I'm tripping, dog. Y'all ain't gonna make me cry in this month. I'm just letting you know that
I'm pulling
He's
it out.
the glasses
He
on.
my question.
He don't slide the glasses on.
What my notes
I
at?
ain't doing no
Hey.
Hold up, limitless. Take a stomach, got pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up. On the mission, got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. On this vision, I can trust. Limitless. Take a stomach, got pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up. On the mission, got me up. Knowing me, I got
What up, fellas? We back on the pivot, and we got a big show. I mean, like a huge show. And I know people feel like all
Big
the shows
pivot.
are huge, but this is a huge show. I mean, like big Aristotle big, you know what I'm saying? Like big Diesel big. And you know, this is the pivot, so we want you to subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you like too. Like, don't just watch the show, think the show is great, and then don't like it. You know, we got my boy Freaky Freddie Flowers. We got Chan with the new teeth. You know what I'm saying? We back in there. You know what I'm saying? We back.
What's your big ass laughing at? Oh, we over there laughing now.
I don't want no
I'm gonna
problem.
let him now, baby.
Before we get started, though, I want to give props to you, brothers. Great show, great content. I like how y'all make people show the sides that we didn't know. The Michael Beasley interview, I never knew that about the brother. So I just want to give you guys props for doing great work. Like some people just do podcasts, but I see y'all trying to help people out and help understand people. So that's why when you called me and said, do you want to be on the show? I was like, of course. Every time I hear you talking to you, I'm like, I like this kid right here. I really do. So I appreciate having me on the show. No, you are. Yeah, you.
You see, he put his glasses on
yeah.
too. He trying to hide his tears.
Because he won't cry on the show.
He gonna hide those tears.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this, Shaq. This is the first time. This is the first time we've ever had a guest on. I mean, Freddie wore the jersey for the A-Rod jersey, but we got Lakers jerseys, we got Lakers hats. But
my wife went and got this for me today.
Today,
this thing fresh. I just took the stickers off.
Well, but the real thing is though, was really true. The real purple and gold that Shaq wore is that LSU purple and gold. This is the first time, man. I've been 2 for 2 on the show now.
Yeah.
This is the first time I ain't been outnumbered by Gators. But when you go to LSU, you
Gators?
Both of them.
100%.
Man.
Come on, dog.
Oh, man.
I thought you knew that.
Man, no, I didn't.
You said it. You ain't know this nigga went to LSU.
Yeah, but hold on. We don't mess with no Gators.
Why not?
I mean, there's a reason why.
No, what you mean the reason why?
Because
Freddie
man,
T,
I'm 3-1 against LSU.
Freddie T, you remember when you came to LSU in '97? Y'all was number one.
That's one win.
Yeah, okay.
But that's one win. I want to know how his bros, right? His not Omegas, because you Omega, but how they gonna feel about this purple and gold he got on?
They're gonna allow it because he went to LSU.
You know it.
LSU,
He
baby, purple and gold.
confused. He's
Gators.
confused.
I used to average 29-15 on you, Gators.
But hell, we had to bring a new chain for your ass. I wish you could go 29-15 on somebody. You the biggest human in the world.
I know.
Best college basketball.
So when young Shaq is coming up, and obviously with you being at the school, I followed how you were raised and how you were brought up and what brought you to LSU. But what type of parents and leadership and guidance do you have to have when you have a kid who's obviously immensely talented, also just freaking huge? You know what I mean? What was that type of discipline like that allowed you to get to college, go to LSU, and then go on and be the type of athlete you were in the NBA?
His discipline is not allowed to be used today. They call it spanking, but mine was above a spanking, and I'm glad he did it. I'm not one of those guys, thank you. Passed away 7-8 years ago, and I'm sad because I never got to tell him thank you enough. I was a high-level juvenile delinquent. His only mission was to teach me to be a leader, not a follower. It all started, I actually started playing basketball because I watched a movie called A Fisher Saved Pittsburgh, Dr. J. And I heard of Dr. J, but I was like, this is Dr. J? And my dad knew my love for Dr. J, so he said, okay, you're not really doing well in school. You do better in school, I'll take you to see Dr. J. So I managed to get all C's. We go to Madison Square Garden, because I'm from Newark, New Jersey. So, we go to Madison Square Garden, we at the top. It's my first time in the arena. I'm like, damn, this is nice. Dr. J goes baseline, throws it down, the crowd goes crazy. It's like a bunch of basketball guys just like enter me. Like I knew then that this is what I wanted to do. And my father was a military drill sergeant. You couldn't say hey or hi, you'd have to address him as sir. And like if you say sir and he don't respond, he don't feel like talking. So I was like, sir, I know what I want to do. And his words, I think I was like 12 or 13, if you listen to me, I'll make you one of the best big men ever. And that's how I started playing basketball. So it was a lot of discipline, a lot of love. And the best thing he taught me is to never be satisfied. I played football. I was tight end. I used to bring my trophies home on Saturday, and on Sunday, they'd be gone. And I couldn't ask where they was at, so I was like, then I go play basketball, get another trophy. And I go play baseball, and I do wrestling, and I do track. And so finally, when I get older, I asked him, I said, yo, man, all those trophies I won for you when I was little, why'd you take them away? And he said, because I never wanted you to be satisfied. And that's why I have the drive that I have now. Like, even when I get something right now, okay, cool, I'm on to the next thing. And that's because of that discipline and that love. And he also used a lot of fear. Like, it doesn't matter how much money I was making or what I was doing, he would always say, hey, what you gonna do if you blow your knee out? What you gonna do, this don't work out? What you gonna do if they don't offer you another contract? He'd always want me to have something to fall back on. Every time another athlete messed up, he'd bring it to my attention. The worst ass whooping I got was when Len Bias passed away. My father came in the house like Len Bias was my brother. He was going crazy. He was crying, and he was just grabbing me. Motherfucker, if I ever catch you doing coke, I'll kill you. My young dumb ass, I was like, bro, we drink Pepsi. Right. So he throwing me around, and he sat me down. He's like, look at this. He just threw his life away. That's why I don't mess around with no drugs, no alcohol, things like that. So, to answer your question, it took a lot of strong discipline, and I got touched up a few times, but only thing I could do is thank you. Like, I've been able to live how I want to live and do what I want to do because I listen. Like, his main thing, listen. Once I started listening, doors started opening up. My dream in high school was to make $8 million for 10 years because that's how the money was. $800,000, like I wanted a little house, I wanted a Jimmy Blazer, and I wanted a black Benz. That's all I wanted. But then as the game started changing, I was able to get $40 million my first contract. But because I listened and because I had that discipline, I ain't played basketball in 15 years, but I live a really, really good life.
Just going back, I want to talk about that discipline. Nick, you said ass whoopings.
I got touched up a lot.
And I got touched up too. And that's the thing right now. AP got in trouble for it. People there's spankings and there's beatings. How did you get that to your kids where there's discipline and then there's over the top?
I think I was really disciplined and spanked and beat because of the environment I was in. Projects in Newark, New Jersey, it's only 2-3 things you can do. Gangs, drugs, just doing off the wall stuff, right? He didn't want that from me. So he would tell me something if I didn't obey. He would, and his thing was like, before you get killed out there, I'm gonna kill you in here. Like, you gotta listen to what I'm saying. And like, once I started listening, man, doors started opening, dreams started coming true. Cause you know how we are as youngsters, get out of here with all that. So my kids, they grew up in different environments. We don't have to talk to them like that. Yeah. Like my boys, all I gotta do is look, and they know I'm not playing. So they, instead of being daddy all the time, I'm homeboy with them. But when I gotta, get crazy, it takes 45 seconds. What'd I tell you? It look like I'm playing? So I don't have to do that with them. And they understand. And then I could explain. Like my father, drill sergeant dealing with troops, when he come home, it ain't no explaining. Get that happy dad off the counter right now. And I go do something else. Then I tell you, with our kids, we can explain. And I say, hey man, don't do that again. If you do it again, this is what's gonna happen. And my girls, if I even look at them crazy, like they're gonna break all the way down. Yeah. Like if I even look at them like, they just go, "Ooh," so, but it's different. Like I've never had to spank or touch my children up, ever.
That's because you was there.
My
Like
dad was
that's
there
what it was.
too.
And you keep saying, Pop, we all know the story. You keep saying my dad. That wasn't your dad, your biological dad.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't believe in that because he raised me. And you know, it's crazy, like I'm doing a documentary and I tell the story. I didn't even know he wasn't my real dad till I was 11.
Wow.
Yeah, because my brothers and sisters' last name is Harrison, and mine is Shaquille O'Neal. So I asked my mom one day, I said, "Hey, why are they Harrison and I'm Shaquille O'Neal?" And she's like, "Baby." And then she told me the story. And then she said, "You want to meet your real dad?" I was like, "Cool." So we go right back where I came from, the projects in Newark, New Jersey. I'm like, "I'm cool." Like, "Nice to meet you, sir." "I'm cool. Got a house. I got brothers and sisters. I'm cool where I am." Then when I turned 18, the other guy showed up. At first, I was kind of upset with him, but after my dad passed away, my mother called me and she said, "You know, you need to go see your biological father." So we're starting to become closer, but I don't hold a grudge because my life went the way it was supposed to go. I live a really good life from a guy who's not even my biological father. He made me who I am today, so I have to respect that. I have to understand that, and I don't dwell on anything else.
When you think about what your dad was to you, but also that feeling of going back to the projects and meeting your biological father, how do those things play into how present or how much of a part of your children's lives you want it to be? Because first off, you say if you just look at your kids, it take 45 seconds. You're also one of the most giant humans in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's not like me looking at my kids when my daughter's 5'8" and like she got on heels, we the same height. Right? It's not the same thing. So don't act like, oh, I just got so much respect in the house. I could just, nah, you freaking large. And if they little kids, you're 8 foot. You know what I mean? And so that's the one thing, but you weren't just a basketball star. You were a superstar. You were in movies and you rapped. And so that takes a lot of time. Did the way that your father was with you and also the absence of your biological father play a lot into who Shaquille O'Neal was as a dad?
Being a dad helped me become more likable. You know how it is in sports. When I lose, I'm tearing my house up. I'm pissed. I'm breaking anything. But as soon as you have the kids, as soon as you open that door, all that has to go away. Mm-hmm. It all has to go away. You have to be nice, especially with girls, because the kids, they don't care if you win or lose. So I try to do deja vu type things with my sons. With my daughters, I wish I could be there more, but you all know I got divorced and, you know, my kids were kind of young, but I'm always protect, provide, and love. I wish I could have been there more, but when I was married, I was always there. Like, you know, we have to go away for work, but when I come home, I was always home. I was playing dog man with the kids, playing the kids. Like, I try to be their friend. I let the moms do all the discipline stuff. I'm a guy that's, you know, lovey-dovey and, you know, I always want to protect them. I try to also instill in them, we don't need another basketball player in this family. We do not at all. If you want to play, I have the blueprint, I have the answers to get you to the top. You can follow them, or you can choose not to follow them. You can make your own path, that's fine. But do not feel like you have to be that. Because if you look at that and you look at this, the richest people in the world don't do that. So I want you to focus on something else. You can run a hedge fund, you can run a company, you can start your, you know, be a content creator, do anything. But just make sure you have your education, make sure you have something to fall back on. I play with them now because I let them know, I let them understand. I tell them this all the time. We ain't rich. Because they're spoiled, but I don't want to.
I saw that.
No, seriously, like, so.
I did see that.
Listen, I'm gonna spoil them, but I can't over spoil them. So I have to let them know, like, look, I'm 50. When I get 70, I'm handing it over to one of y'all, the one that, you know, deserves to run it and, you know, keep it going. So you know, they know and understand. My oldest son is in college. My oldest daughter is graduated. She works for Pepsi. I really have 6 fabulous kids. I don't have any complaints, and they're doing well.
You said when you get 70, you got to hand it over, which brings me to a question. Do you have a favorite of your children, or have you been accused of favoritism?
I like my girls a little bit better.
Why?
Because as a man, you have to protect, provide, and love for your woman.
Do you trust them more than you trust
Yes,
yourself?
I do. I trust them more because they're more sensitive, they're more caring, and they're thinkers. You know how boys are. Like my boys, you bring a something and right in front of them, they go, you know what I mean? They go, but so, and like I tell my boys, when y'all get 18, y'all got to go. Girls can stay as long as they want.
I say the same
No,
exact
seriously.
thing.
Yeah, no,
But
when-
are you
Same
se-
exact
Are you
thing.
serious when you say that?
yes, I do.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Y'all can stay as long as y'all want. Take your time. Go to college. Get your master's. Get your doctorate. I'll pay for it. Take your time. I'm trying to teach them about all types of men. You know, and you know what to avoid. Like I tell them all the time, I said, don't mess with somebody that everybody want. Daddy, why? I said, because he got too many options. Got too many options, and depends on how he was raised. You know, he may take advantage of those options. And I always try to tell you, I say, you should get somebody that you like, somebody that you respect, and somebody that you can control. And that's what you should be looking for. Like if you try to mess with a guy that everybody like, it's gonna end up being crazy.
Right.
And then I was telling them, don't mess with nobody like your daddy, because your daddy used to be an animal like that.
along that point, because you're damn Shaquille O'Neal, bro. You've controlled your whole life with your ability. Everybody done kissed your ass. Since when? What day did you figure out everybody was gonna kiss your ass? What age?
I don't want everybody to kiss my ass.
But what age did they start kissing your ass?
It's not about kissing ass, it's about, so this is me. As a youngster, I always used jealousy to drive me, because I wasn't the greatest athlete. I don't know if y'all know this feeling, but you ever go in the gym and you ain't the man? And then you're looking at a guy and like, I can do that. Why is he the man and I'm not? So my life has always been about that. So when I walk in the gym and I see you looking at another 7-foot guy, I'm coming for your spot, coming for it. So when I left LSU and I started trying to do endorsement deals, people were like, big guys don't sell. Oh yeah? Tell you what, let me design a commercial, let me shoot it, the commercial's positive, boom, 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 come back, let me do it. I like proving people wrong. So I like doing good business. I like, meeting outstanding people. And I just try to navigate positively in the world. I don't want people to kiss my ass. I want to do good business. I want to, you take care of me, I take care of you. I realize that if you start winning,
Yeah.
you can
do it.
You could walk in any restaurant and eat for free and do anything you want. So I had to find that out like when I was in LA. Like when I first got to LA, I figured out how superstars are supposed to live. Like when I first got to LA, they had a club called Roxy. So when I get to LA, I'm 18. I'm Shaq, but Shaq don't hold no weight in LA. So I'm standing in the front, Eddie Murphy coming to all motherfucking leather shit with the motherfucking
That raw
chest
delirious
open.
joint.
Yeah, he had that in the motherfucking gloves.
You got your ass out.
Yeah, he had the gloves and the Ferrari, and he pull up and they paparazzi taking pictures, and then Rob Lowe and then Magic on our city. I'm like, damn, that's gonna be me one day.
Yeah.
So, just by seeing that, I just like, I gotta get to that. And then I would talk to people like, man, how I get to that? You gotta win.
Yeah.
Win what? You gotta win, man. You gotta win. You gotta make it. I said, well, they know me. I said, nah, you gotta win. And that's when I was like really, really trying hard to win. And when I won my first championship, I brought it home to my dad. My didn't even smile. No, he didn't. He just looked at the children and was like, and he didn't say nothing. We sitting there watching highlights, and then he'd turn, you know what you gotta do, right? And I'd be like, yes, sir. That's why I went so hard when I got those 3 in a row.
What's the yes, sir?
Get another one. Like he didn't even like everybody, oh, congratulations, that. He's sitting on his couch with an earpin, like, Sarge, look what we did. You should have had 50. You missed my 12 free throws. No, that's how he was.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's all right.
Boy, I love it. But I was leading up to saying, with the divorce, you controlled your life forever. You can't control that.
No, I couldn't. I
It's
was
two
bad.
people that involved in divorce, bro.
Yeah, but no, I never talked about this, and I'm glad you guys are asking because I don't mind talking about this. But I was bad. She was awesome. She really was. It was all me. I was just look. We don't need to talk about what I was doing, but I wasn't protecting her and protecting those vows. So sometimes when you live that double life, you get caught up in. So I'm not gonna say it was her. It was all me because she was look, she did exactly what she's supposed to do. Gave me beautiful kids, take care of the house, take care of corporate stuff. It was just all me. Sometimes when you make a lot of mistakes like that, you can't really come back from that. But she's happy now. She's about to marry a fine young gentleman, and I'm happy for her. And we have a great relationship. But as I get older and dwell on situations, I can honestly say it was all me. Because I was big time.
On South Beach
Yes.
in the Lambo, in the
Yeah.
Rari.
Yeah.
I seen you a couple times. How your big ass fit in the fucking Lamborghini?
So, you
In the
know, it's crazy.
Ferrari.
I bought a real one, and then I bought one that was salvaged, and I just super glued the motherfuckers together.
I seen you a couple nights on the beach.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's
Yeah.
7'1".
Yeah.
How he fit in here?
Yeah, no, but I think,
So-
you mentioned the mistakes and, often have the conversation that, because I've made mistakes as well, and that was how I characterized it, right? And I was like, you know what, these are mistakes I've made. When truly, as we become adults and now you get older, those are decisions, right? Those are decisions and choices we choose to make because...
I'm not crying either, I'm just wiping my eye.
You good, because...
you good.
because you know what I'm saying? Because you know it is, dog. Because it's like because you at that moment that's what fulfills you. And I think also as men, sometimes we don't think bigger than that, right? We think about that moment. We don't think about how it affects the people that aren't there at the time, or how it will be seen if, as it said, what's done in the dark comes to light. When you've been so successful in your life, and now you said at this point being able to look back on that, are there things from that time you would change? And do you believe if you changed them, you'd still like to be married, or you still like to be in that position where you could be with your kids and, like Channing said, could control those type of things?
The best feeling for me was coming home and hearing 5-6 different voices. Don't matter if I missed 15 free throws and we lost, they don't care about that. Dog man's home. Like, we used to play something called Dog Man. As soon as I come in, I turn into a wild dog and I chase him and bite him. That's all I live
That's not
for.
like the cat, Channing.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna get into it, Shaq. I'm gonna get into the nasty
Yeah.
stuff.
No, I just, I just used to like get them and act like I'm biting them and
Dog, man.
yeah,
That's
and,
dope.
and they used to love that. And look, I was just being greedy. I had the perfect situation. Wife was finer than a mug. Kept giving me babies, still finer than a mug. I had it all. Just sometimes and I don't make excuses. I know I messed up. And then, when I didn't have that, I don't like to use the D word because I don't really know what it is, but I was lost. 76,000 square foot house by yourself. Lost. No kids. Go to the gym, nobody's playing in the gym. You go to their room, nobody's there. You start to feel it. And then as you're getting older and then you hear, Shaq ain't Shaq no more. And then you realize Shaq ain't Shaq no more. You go from averaging 30 to 19 and then, but I said to myself, okay, you're not married, but you still have to protect and provide for this family. Get your ass up, man up, let's go. What you gonna do next? At the end of my career, I had a 2-year deal. I wanted to do the farewell Shaq tour and all that, but I got injured. And I didn't know what I was gonna do, so I was just gonna take a year off and be like, okay, what am I gonna do? And luckily I got the job with TNT and I've been working and things have been going on. But all the stuff I'm doing now, that's the stuff I wanted to do. I wanted to invest, I wanted to buy companies, I wanted to be on boards, I wanted to do certain things because, may not be a husband, but I'm always be a father. And the father's job is to protect, provide, and love. I have 2, I don't like to use the term baby mamas, I have 2 wonderful women that have given me beautiful, gorgeous children. I have to protect and I have to provide and I have to love for them forever. That's why I work so hard. I don't work for me. I got it all. I got to work for them. I got to work for my 6 babies.
Sorry, did you say 76,000 square foot house?
76,000 square foot, yeah.
Because I thought you said 100, and I was like, I damn near got Shaq. You said 1,000. You said 76,000.
76,000, yeah. And
Where is that house?
in Orlando, and I just sold it. And I'm actually sick that I sold it, but
Who bought it? Who can afford it?
What do
a
you
dentist.
do? A dentist?
Yeah.
That's a lot of Channing's teeth.
What?
That's a lot of.
Man, listen, Shaq, I know you big now.
That's it.
I dive on that big ass chair over there and get back in place with all this giggling.
Like we used to say in the locker room, be mad at who you mad at. Don't be mad at me.
Nah, you mentioned though, like you know, to mention Orlando, I love documentaries. So when 30 for 30s came out, I started watching them all, and they actually sent me a box set, and I was like, y'all know I ain't got no dang DVD player to watch these, but you know, I remember watching the one with you and Penny, right? And I'm a huge Jordan fan. I was a huge Bulls fan, and then when y'all spoiled his comeback, when Nick Anderson poked the ball from behind, I almost forgot you went to LSU. It made me that sick. And you know, I heard you had a lot to do with Penny becoming part of the Orlando Magic. What type of memories do you have of that time, of them two young guns, man, a guard and a big man that were just taking over the league at such a young age?
You know, when you get older, you try to think about the mistakes that you made that could have been avoided. Divorce is definitely one of them. Penny and I were two young superstars. We let other people get into our heads. So when I first got to Orlando Magic, we didn't have these guys, my guy, Nick is guy, but we didn't have another. So I shoot the movie Blue Chips. And I'm the type, I don't really care about who's coming out and all that, so I didn't even know who Penny was. So, but in my contract, we got to play ball 3 or 4 hours, let me work out and all that before we start shooting. So we playing, this little skinny motherfucker, he diming me up. Like if I put my hand like that, the ball gonna be right there. So finally I say, yo man, who the fuck is that? I say, yo, is he an actor? I said, no man, that's Penny Hardaway. I said, well, it's like he went to Memphis State. He, projected to, go high in the draft. So D. Scott would always tell me, Shaq, you too nice. You're gonna have to start telling these people what you want and how you want it. So I tested that out. So I called and said, hey man, y'all heard of Penny Hardaway? Yeah, we might not be able to get him. I said, well, y'all need to get him. I don't know if we can do that. I said, well, if y'all don't get him, when my deal is up in 2 years, I'm gonna be looking to do something else. That's what I told them. Hung up. Bye. They called me back. All right, we're really trying. So shoot the movie, get home, the draft. They draft C-Web. I tear my kitchen up. Glad he's so now I'm trying to use my power. Y'all ain't respecting me, so now I'm gonna have to show y'all how I get down. I'm out. When my deal is up, I'm out. There ain't gonna be nothing to talk about. So then, 10 minutes later, they make the trade, and then we got him. Because I was thinking the next Magic and Kareem. That's all I was thinking. And you like playing with a guy that likes to look out for you. He was good enough to go for himself, but he was always look out for me. The problem started happening is when you let people say, whose podcast is this? This Fred shit, Ryan shit, or your shit. Rather than being a team, they start. So, me, I know it's my shit. You don't have to say it, but I don't like nobody else saying it's his shit, right? So, him and his boys start doing that, we start doing that. So then, when it come time to get some new money, I already knew. I said, I'm starting off at 150. I know I wasn't gonna get 150. I'm starting off at 150. Talking about paying big dog $100 million.
Glenn Robinson.
Yeah. Yep. I need 150. So they said no. The town said no. So then I'm here in the Olympics. I'm not even thinking about signing. They wanted me to sign 80 for 4, and I thought about it. I was like, let me go to the Olympics and I come back. So I'm here, me and my uncle, we at Magic City, and my agent, Leonard Armando, called me and said, hey man, you gotta meet me at this hotel. I got good news for you. So when we get there, I get to the suite, it's Jerry West. I'm like, oh, hey, Mr. West. He said, hey man, I got some good news and I got some bad news. I said, what's the bad news? He said, I can't get you that 150. And I said, what's the good news? He said, we can get you 120. And when he opened up that motherfucking contract, all them fucking zeros started, I was like, I didn't even have time to consult with my mom, my dad, nobody. I just seen all them zeros, and he was like, man, we got to make a move now. And I was like, I asked my lawyer, I said, yo, you talked to Orlando about this? He said, they're not going to match it. And I was like, oh, they're not going to match it? So I just signed. I was like, because I was looking at that 120. Then he hit me on the side and said, I can get you some movies and get you all that. So I'm like, man, 120 plus that. And the good thing, I was always already familiar with LA, because every time if we lost in Orlando on a Sunday, I'm on the flight Sunday night in LA partying, chilling. Right. So I already had a little house on the beach. I was already familiar with LA, but I think if we didn't have those egos, we could have definitely worked that out. Because I always tell people he was Kobe before Kobe. Penny Hardaway was a cold cat. He really was. He really was. That's something I always think about. Like, if I would have did it different, I probably could have stayed there, ended up there, on the pizza team. Like, I always think about stuff that could have, impacted my life a little differently.
That's huge, man. But did your dad interject?
No, because I just seen all them zeros I signed. And then when I called him and said, yo, I'm going to LA, he went off.
They say nothing good happened after 11 p.m.
120 million?
No,
Bro, that was good.
Yeah. He was mad.
Right.
But he had a thing. He's also Jamaican. So he would always say, don't listen to how I say it, listen to what I say. So when I told him, motherfucker, I said, hey man, they offered me 120 and Orlando only offered me 80. What? Oh yeah, that, yeah. So yeah. He said what? I said, my man, Orlando offered me 80, they offered me one. Yeah, man, that, you good, you good. Just send the plane so I can come to the farm. I said, I got you, dog. So, once I passed all his tests, we had that kind of respect. Like, we could yell at each other, but since the respect is there, after my last whooping at 13, we never had a problem.
Is that a regret you have?
Yeah, because I always think about if we would have stayed together, how many we could have got.
Do you think you would have got multiple, more than you got in LA?
That's the hard thing. Yeah. But Penny was that good.
Right.
Penny wasn't Kobe.
No.
I know. What'd he say?
Penny was Kobe before Kobe.
I was say, but Penny wasn't as good as Kobe. Like, let's be honest. Penny was not going to be a top 3
Penny
player.
got injured. Penny had knees.
Oh, you sure about that?
You say Penny could have been a top 3 player of all time because that's what Kobe is.
Yes. If he didn't get injured, yes. Bro, hold on. Penny came in like that.
Penny was a dog.
Hold on. Penny came in like that. It took Kobe maybe 2.5 years to get to that level. Penny came in, he was already like that.
Yeah.
First year he came in, we went to the finals. Penny was cold, and that's why I always tell people, he was Kobe before Kobe. People give me flack like that, say he couldn't have turned out, but if he wouldn't have got injured, he'd definitely be up there. Definitely. Hey, Penny was a cold cat. You know it. Yeah. Boy.
Listen, Shaq, don't try me with them big ass leather ass shoes on now, with them big ass cows on your motherfucking feet. You ain't gonna get up fast. If I jump on your ass, I'm gonna give me 7-8 shots in before your ass get up.
I'm done, dog.
Hey, all our time up. You said Pops was mad, Sarge was mad that you was going to LA till he heard about that 120. The other thing is, man, when you get all them zeros, especially in LA, with the way that they've always won with Showtime, with Magic, with Kareem, and all of the other big men that they've had, like, that's pressure.
I like pressure. Rookie year, Orlando Magic versus the Knicks. He didn't go to this game. He used to always go to this game. I go to this game, I stink up the fucking gym. We got a couple days off. We going to another city. I get the phone call on the dope man phone. Hello? What you doing? I don't know. Well, what's wrong? You couldn't handle the pressure? You never supposed to say, I can't. They don't like that. I couldn't. Get your ass on the plane right now. Like, yo, man, it's been, I don't give a fuck. Find the plane, come home. So I leave 2, get there 3, wake up the next morning. I want your ass over my house at 0700. Like, I land at 5, I gotta be at his house at 7. Don't be late. So when I get to the house, we ride, and he's not saying nothing in the car. And I see a homeless family. And what he does, every time he goes that route, he'll give them some money for eat. So we just sitting there looking, and he don't say nothing. And then he said, you spoiled motherfucker. This is pressure. Pressure is when you don't know where your next meal coming from. I don't ever want to hear you say you can't handle the pressure again. It's fucking basketball. Get out. I was like, what you mean get out? Get the fuck out and take care of this family. So this is 8 in the morning, so I go talk to the dude, nice guy. It was a guy, wife, and 2 kids. The guy said he was, just lost his house. He was just looking for something to do. So I asked him, I said, hey, what do you like to do? He said, man, I like to cut grass. Call one of my boys, hey man, boom, 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 to cut grass. Call one of my other guys who has some apartments. I said, hey man, I need a 3-bedroom apartment, how much? $3,000 a month. I'm gonna send you a check for 36. The guy who I just met put his family in there. Sir, call my office tomorrow, go to the furniture store, boom, boom, boom. So I had to take care of that family. And then, but after I did all that, I was like, that's right. Motherfucker, he out there with his family, he don't know where his next meal gonna come from. If I don't come around, he don't get that. And after that, I never felt the pressure again. So when I got to LA and he's like, yeah, you could be like, and I like that shit. You can be like Kareem and Magic and all. You can be like, I'm like, okay. I already know I can ball. If you put the right motherfuckers around me, I'm gonna get it done. But I'm like, okay, cool. And you know, the way they did it was special too, is he brought me to the forum and then all the lights are off. And he put the lights up. And Jerry West, you know, Kareem, what he done, you could be like that. And yeah, all the jerseys. And Jerry West said, look, I know you like to rap and do movies and all that, but when it's all said and done, if it's done the right way, your name could be up there. So while some people look at it as pressure, I look at it as challenge. And not only do I look at it as challenge, from where I come from, I gotta get it done. And now I got kids and boys too, and for bragging rights, I gotta get it done. Gotta get it done.
For me, the craziest thing is, man, you transcend the game. But I think more importantly, you know, what your father instilled in you and how you've taken that, how humble you are. You know, you have everything, right? You're a superstar. And for you to be sitting here with us, talking about Chan, and, you know, we having a good time.
Don't look over here. I ain't no easy win. I don't know what you're looking at, because I ain't no easy win.
Hell no, you can't have my cornbread. You want my cornbread, man, get that taste out your mouth.
You know, just
That's why we always sit you next to whoever guessed it. That's gonna happen twice a show, right?
But really, the point I'm making, man, I mean, I hear stories about, you know, you leaving Reebok to go and do your own line. Your shoes were in Walmart, right? What I see is everything your father put in you when he said, go out here and take care of this family. Man, you're the most gentle fucking giant on the planet. Is that everything you do now is because of?
Yes, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I was arrogant one time. You know, you go from not being nothing to being something. So leave Newark, go to Germany, end up in San Antonio, Texas, 36-0. I'm the man. So I started acting like that. So I went to a small school. Graduating class was 39 people. 8 through 12 was 269 people. So I'm starting to just be arrogant and alienate people. So one day I come to school, the whole school shifts. What up, Ryan? What up, Fred? What up, ugly ass boy? Don't nobody say nothing to me, right? And I'm like, cool. You know, I like to laugh. I'm a comedian. So I go in the lunchroom. The whole school get up and go. I go to practice. My don't say nothing to me. So my boy, who actually worked for me now, I said, yo, man, what the fuck happened? He said, my man, you ain't get here by yourself. You're arrogant, you shitting on people, you bullying people. That's not the way to go. And when you come from nothing and you get something, and then you automatically lose it, I'm like, you know what, if I act like this when I get big time, I could lose everything. So I never did that again. And then, you know, you have to, you know, Muhammad Ali said, you could tell a lot about a man how he treats the janitor. If a man treats a janitor like shit, he's gonna treat everybody like shit. So after that, I was like, you know what, I need to just stay cool, because all this could be taken away, especially if you make crazy decisions. So, you know, my thing is to take care of my family, lead by example for people like us, you know, people who want to follow in our footsteps, because that's what Dr. J did for me. And then when I met Dr. J, he was just so smooth. Yeah. I'm like, if he nice, I gotta be nice. I met Magic, he got me in the club. I'm like, if Magic nice, if I met Eddie, hey man, I heard a lot about you. Like, all these motherfuckers is nice to me. I got to be nice. I don't need to be. And then, like, we all men. Just because I got something and you ain't got it, I'm not gonna step on you. Can't do it.
And to talk about that expansion, man, because that was one thing that a lot of athletes try to do that we're actually doing right now. You know what I'm saying? You go from being an athlete to try to expand your brand. And, you know, first thing, your eyes are so close that I'm amazed you can wear glasses, regular glasses. Like, I thought you wear a monocle when you came. I thought you had like a Cyclops monocle on. But since you have real glasses on, I see that you can wear them, and I was proud of that. I was proud to see
Another
that.
thing with people though, I think if people can act like we act, the world would be a better place.
It really is.
That shit funny. I'm the Shaq. I can take it personal, but that was funny.
Hey, I'll be honest.
No, that was
closely
funny.
at it.
Yeah.
Hey, I was like,
Look
is
cross-eyed.
This nigga 7'3" with 2 eyes. Like, why your eyes so close? Just sit tight. But, bro, you talking about expansion, Shaq. Like, you're one of the best basketball players ever. We all saw you. You know what I'm saying? And then you get into rap. Let's say you a 10 of 10 of basketball players, bro. Hall of Famer.
Or I'm the number one athlete rapper.
But then the rapper, the rapping and the acting.
Yes.
So if you 10 of 10 in basketball, I need your rank of yourself in acting
I'm a
and your rank
terrible
of
actor.
yourself in rap.
I'm a terrible actor.
Oh, I saw Kazam.
Shazam.
Shazam. I didn't even know Kazam. Shazam. I didn't know the
Kazam.
first letter.
I'm a terrible actor because I got 17 movies and 15 I played myself, so it don't count. Rapping, I'm the number one athlete rapper. Listen, it's all about taking advantage of opportunities. We don't get these opportunities. Like, I didn't want to be a rapper. I went on the Arsenio Hall show and I said, hey man, I want to do something different. Like, what you want to do? I don't want to just come in no fancy suit, talk about what I'm going to do. Everybody do that. I want to do something different. He said, what? And out of the blue, I just said, I want to rap with my favorite rap group. He said, cool. So I called Fushnikins. We did it. We did a song. And then after that, I thought I had a great performance. My agent called me and said, man, you ain't going to believe this shit. I said, what? Motherfucker offer you $10 million for a 3-album deal. I was like, what? Wow. Like, yeah, they don't jive. So I met with the people from Jive. I said, listen, let's be realistic. I'm not a rapper. Only way I'll do this if you let me rap with my favorite rappers. And they said, deal. So, first album, Redman, Def Jeff, Biggie, was able to go platinum. And then the second one went gold. Third one went wood. And then
People caught on.
Yeah, people caught on. But for me, being in the studio with Biggie, that's my platinum. Because be honest with you, when I went platinum, that little check ain't do nothing for me.
Yeah.
So, JayZ, hey, this Shaq, you want to do it first? Yeah, man, how much you gonna charge me, Jay? Free, Shaq, I love you. Like just, so I probably have the number one celebrity discography for a non-rapper. I got Fat Joe, I got Big Pun, I got Snoop, I got DJ Quick, I got Redman, I got Biggie, I got Nas, I got Noriega. Like, I got all these guys that did it for free. And when I got in the studio, they test me out, which is fine, because I've been playing basketball and rapping and doing fake movies in the house since I was a little kid. And movie things. So I'm sitting there in the Four Seasons. The guy says, man, I've been looking for you. I said, well, why are you looking for me? I'm so-and-so, boom, 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 shooting a movie called Blue Chips, and we want to put you in it. I'm like, okay, just talk to my agent. My agent called me and said, this guy's real. He's shooting the movie Blue Chips, and boom, boom, Nick Nolte's. I'm like, Nick Nolte from 48 Hours? Like, yeah, he's a star. Like, fuck, I'll do it. And I had to play myself. So it ain't like I said, I'm going to be a rapper and be a movie. These are just opportunities that you can't ever turn down. And when you love something and you respect it, you're going to always do well at it. So doing well for me is not the same definition as a rapper. Even if I go 10 times platinum, that money ain't doing nothing for me.
What's your favorite track?
Favorite track is probably the one I did with Biggie, because I did it, I redid it. He ain't going to like this. I redid it and I redid it. And then finally Big said, hey man, send me the ticket, I'm coming down. So I'm nervous. I'm like, man, I hope he like it, because I done already redid the motherfucker 10 times. If he don't like it, I'm probably gonna have to cancel the project. So he go in the studio and he start bobbing. That shit tight, big fella. So I was like, whew, he like it. I ain't gotta change it. So I pull out some paper, because I had the studio in the house. I pull out some paper. I said, hey man, I'm gonna be in the house. Fred's the engineer. Hit this button. Just let me know when you're done. He said, no man, I'm ready right now. And I ain't never seen nobody work that fast. Like, he never heard the beat before. That was the first time hearing the beat. And he killed it. But it was vulgar. So I had to hit the button. I was like, he's like, Chuck, you right for the kids. And then he hit that other verse. And then, look, we just talked about life. We went on the Sea-Doos. We had a good time, talked to his mom. And it was just a great day. And then the last time I saw him was when he was getting the tattoos the night before, he got killed. But
You saw him the day before you got killed?
Yeah.
Damn.
My favorite track was You Can't Stop the Rain.
That's it. That was it.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't remember Biggie verse.
Yeah, with Biggie.
Wow. Obviously, you mentioned all these people doing things for you for free. JayZ doesn't do things for free. Biggie, some of the biggest rappers especially during that era, they were doing those things because you mentioned winning, but they were doing those things because of the basketball player you were, because of the star you were. It wasn't about actually rapping. How does it make you feel though? Because, you know, we all know when people do things, obviously you got to do, when people do things that you don't do for a living, you become fans of them. You know what I mean? So to have an opportunity to be in there with Biggie, and then also now you move to seeing him the night before he passed, when you think of some of those memories, is it almost surreal to you that that kid from the projects in Jersey turned into that man?
It is. I think about it all the time. But I think I get respect from them because they know I love and respect their craft. Like, I don't want to be a rapper. I rap because I really got skills, right? And if I wasn't a basketball player, I would try to probably explore that lane. But, you know, being that I'm one of the biggest stars and I'm stepping into that lane, they see that I love it and respect it, and not being all gimmicky about it. They gave me a shot. And, you know, when they gave me a shot, I represented well, and we still have, you know, good relationships to this day. But look, the only thing I can do is look up and say, thank you, Sarge. Because he told me all this would happen. He said, my man, once you start listening to me, you're going to be able to do anything the white boys do. Anything you want. So I was speaking at a conference the other day, and a little kid said, how does it feel to have a lot of money? And I told him, I said, my definition of rich is different. My definition of being rich is seeing a beautiful black woman, Dr. Lucille O'Neal, wake up, cook a hell of a breakfast, wear the same pants she wore on Monday, today's Wednesday, just switch up the shirt. I'm watching, like, you already wore those. Made sure we was fresh, took us to school, picked us up, hell of a dinner, and never complained. And like, we used to just like ride around, I could see the stuff in our eyes. Like, she used to, like, these little bullshit houses. Oh, that's a nice house. And I could see and like, she wished she had something like that. So my definition of being rich is being able to buy my mama anything she wants. Like, I don't know how much I'm worth, I do not care. When I take my mama to the mall and we looking at them little expensive purses that these little girls be buying, you want one? No, baby, that's $2,000. I don't care about that. For real, baby? I can have a Louis. Like, you know, she's older, like, for real, baby, I can have a Louis? That's my definition of being rich. My definition of being rich is when my sister passed away before Kobe died. I said, leave this house in Orlando. You come to Atlanta so I can see you more. Because the year my sister died, I only saw my family 4 times that year. So, you know, I need you next to me. Baby, I don't want to leave the house. No, go pick another house. That's my definition of being rich, nothing else. Being able to, the woman that sacrificed everything for me and never had nothing. I asked her, I said, how much you make when I was coming up? She said, she only make $35,000 a year. A year. Tax that. How much is that? My dad was only making 40. So you get in a house with 5 kids, 70,000. You got a big ass greedy kid. Right. She wasn't making nothing. So being able to get her whatever she wants, the best feeling in the world. Like, I've never seen a person cry when I dropped that mansion off the first time. Like, I actually tricked her. I said, hey, I said, Mom, I need you to come look at these houses with me. So we got a house in Orlando. It was 900,000, but it was 9,000 square feet. Something none of us ever seen before. Medium room, pool house, and all that. I said, Mom, you like this house for me? She said, I was like it. It's yours. Like, as soon as I said yours, like, I ain't never seen no tears like that. She down there fell. I'm like, Mom, yeah. I said, it's yours. It's for you, Daddy, brothers and sisters. Y'all go outside. What's that? Brandon was like, just that right there made it all worth it. I don't care about my cars. I don't care about my jewelry. I don't care about none of that. But just be able to take care of them, and now do the same thing, you know, for my kids. Same thing. So that's my definition of being rich, and that's why I work so hard. You know, I work for them.
You spoke about validation before we started rolling, and you mentioned that you don't care how the world sees you.
I do not.
You know, especially now in this day and age, with social media, you know, the scrutiny that can follow based on a comment. But you don't worry about the outsiders. You only worry about what your mother.
I used to. So I had a nuclear physicist. He used to talk to me about problems.
A what?
Nuclear physicist.
It's the only people Shaq can talk to. We can't talk to no nuclear physicists.
His name is Bert. Yeah, he was nuclear physicist. So when I was losing in LA, I would get all the flack, and it would fucking drive me crazy. So the first thing he did, because you know they wanted me to talk to somebody, is I'm starting to go crazy. I'm starting to beat motherfuckers up in the locker room. I'm going crazy, right? So they said, we want to introduce you to this guy, Bert, nuclear physicist. So the first thing he do, he make me watch this movie, The Fan, Wesley Snipes and Robert De Niro.
Yep.
And the basis of the movie is Wesley, who's a star, he said he didn't care. So when I started talking to Bert, he said, you care too much. So what do you mean? He said, how much you making this year? I'm making 25. I said, whether you do good or not, right? Yeah. So why you care what people write? And once I stopped caring, pew, took off. And then he said, you should develop something called one-hand stress. I only care about what my mama say, what my kids think, if it's gonna mess up the money in the business, what my boys think. That's it. It don't even get to 5. Then I made up a quote for myself. If a nobody can influence a somebody, then the nobody wins. But the question of the day is, who are you? Nobody. So all these people with their opinions, if we talking pecking order status, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but you're under me.
Right.
Now, if I say something and y'all say something, now I got to look at it. We all on the same, so we athletes, former athlete, boom, boom. So now, like, if y'all say something I did something wrong, now I have to look at it, right? Because y'all my boys. Now, I respect what y'all say. Somebody above, like if Mr. Obama say Shaq shouldn't have did that, I know I messed up. If my mama called, I know I messed up. But I am not concerned about what people say about me, because it ain't real life. Real life is I can do whatever I want, say whatever I want, be wherever I want, my mama straight. Like tomorrow after work, I'm going to Miami on my plane. So
Take us back to Jersey, and not your childhood. I want to get into some of your business ventures. You have a big real estate project. What influenced that?
I got tired of seeing the projects. I got tired of seeing people live like that. So my uncle Mike, who's my agent, has a lot of influence with the mayor. And we want to tear the projects down. We're going to pay for it. And then, when you're a minority-owned company, there's a lot of grants for that. I didn't know that. So Goldman Sachs will give us the money. We tear the projects down. We start making condos. And then I just built something called Shaq Towers, because when I was growing up, even though it was the projects, it was the most beautiful place ever. But then when you leave and come back, you're like, damn, man, clean up your yard. Like, look at this building, look at this and that. So I wanted to help beautify the place. It's not a money thing for me. It's like I want to be helpful in making this place what it is. And it's a valuable place. New York is jam-packed. Mm-hmm. So most of the properties I own are right next to the subway. So if we can get you don't want to pay $100,000 a month for rent in New York, come to Newark. On the train, 10, 15, 20 minutes away. So if you look at it business-wise, it's really a gold mine. But I wanted to help beautify the city back up. And a lot of business things that I get into, if I don't believe in your business, I won't do it. I always tell people the story that when I won my first championship, Wheaties contacted my office. And I told them no. And my agent was like, hey man, that's Wheaties. I'm like, fuck that. I'm from the hood. I don't know what Wheaties taste like. Call Frosted Flakes. I said, no, I told him, I said, yo, call Frosted Flakes. So we called them. They denied us. Second, third championship, they did that. When I won in Miami, they did a deal with the NBA, and they put me and Wade on the box. I couldn't stop that. But finally, after all these years, I finally did my first deal with Frosted Flakes. So I'm on the box, like on the cover, 3 million boxes. But I can't take your money just to be taking it, because I can't lie to the people. Yeah. I can't do that. Like, you can't pay me to lie to the people. Like, if you would say, hey, I want you to endorse this beer and I drink it, I don't like it, you can't pay me no money. I'll give you half of the company. I can't do that to the people, because it's not about getting rich. But the process gets you rich, but it's never about getting rich. Jeff Bezos said, if you invest in things that's going to change people's lives, it's a win-win situation. So if you're coming out with a beer and it's going, it's going to help people or whatever, then I do that. But I just can't take your money just to be taking it.
Do you know all your investments? Cause
no, I do not.
You don't know, no. You walk into a meeting and people tell you, hey, you have a real estate company, you have this and that. I know all my investments. You have no idea what you're invested in.
No, I got my first $1 million in 18 years old. I got to get that black on black Benz. Fuck that. Get that.
So you got the black on black.
Oh, I got the black on black.
Yeah.
So I get home, my dad said, where my shit at? Jump in, dog. Alpine, go get him one. So that's $300,000, right?
Yeah.
Come home, Mom, you my baby. You can get whatever you want. I'm not gonna get you the $600, but I get you the $500.
You get
So 100,000. So, and then after I take care of them, you know, I got to get the ice and the jewelry.
Right, the whole thing.
I'm
The
living at
pack.
I'm living at the house. The draft is three months away. I'm gonna rent me an apartment, condo. So I get a meeting. I get a call from the bank guy the next day, and he's just looking at me and he's like, Shaq, you know, we watch you grow up, and we don't want you to be like all the other athletes. Take a look at this. I don't know nothing about business. But you know how you know how we as black athletes, we always hear the story of motherfuckers stealing from you. So I get the piece of paper and I see FICA, 250,000. I'm like, hey man, what the fuck is FICA? I don't know nothing about business. So he started laughing and he pulled out his thing. He pulled the dummiest guide to starting your own business. He said, Shaq, you about to come into a lot of money. Read this. So I'm reading it, I don't know what I'm looking at. But my favorite chapter was joint ventureships, partnerships. And I'm like, and it's simple. If I'm gonna do a worldwide football camp, do it with y'all. I'm gonna put the money up. Y'all gonna run them shits. Boom. I ain't gonna tell you what to do. I ain't gonna tell you how to do it. So most of my businesses is joint ventureships. So where I know the business, I'm educated enough to look at the books to see what's going on, but I'm not out there doing everything by myself. I own 7 restaurants in Vegas. I got 3 guys that's in the restaurant business. I do business with them. So a lot of times my business is on paper because that's the business, but I'm still owners. So that's how I do a lot of my business, so I'm not all over the place. And that was my favorite chapter, joint ventureship. I do a lot of, you know, partnerships.
Just being to the financial level you're on, which is something that I speak on me. I'll never be there. I don't know where y'all boys are with y'all money, but I don't think we at Shaq. You have a monthly budget.
No.
You have a yearly budget. You have a card that you just slide and it's gonna keep sliding because I get emails, bro. They be like, hey, insufficient funds. I got I get insufficient funds emails all the time.
Look at the look on his face. Why you so serious?
Bro, I'm dead serious, bro. They hit me with insufficient funds at the hotel downstairs a little bit ago. I gave the dude my card, sexy and cool. He hit it, he was like, Mr. Crowder's insufficient funds. I was like, well, nah, use this one.
I got another one though.
I was like, nah, use this one.
So, no, I don't have an allowance, but a lot of my spending habits are all fixed incomes. I take care of my mama house. Take care of, and those are fixed, so I know what I'm putting out, right? So if I know I'm putting that out, I got to do something, offset that. I do have a miscellaneous, do what I want fund. And that's based on, I met a guy one time, a rich guy, he was Beverly Hills, all this. And then like I always tell my kids, that we make a lot of money, but we rich, we not wealthy. So I used to see this guy, I met a guy and I was like, how do you stay rich? And he pulled out a $100 bill and he ripped it in half. And he said, what's this? I said, 50-50. He said, you can save 50, that's cool, and spend this. But he said, the wealthy people do this. You save this, ball out with that, whatever you want to do. So I didn't really spend none of my checks until I got married. Like I used to just get my Reebok check and keep that for me, and everything, NBA check, just don't even look at it, boom, 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 boom. So I started doing that early, and then I started getting into investing in business. So, but the fact that I listened, and the fact that my family used scare tactics, it really kept me in line. Cause like I don't want to have to make that call to my mama. Mommy, that the house you in, can't pay for it. Nope, I don't. So I've always got to, you know, do things right, do things straight. And then, you know, you look at how the Kennedys and how all them people like, you know, trying to teach my kids about generational wealth. I'm like, my man, I'm like, look, I started it off. But if you look at how they do it, they started off and then they kids flip it and then it can go forever. I'm trying to get to y'all where y'all can just take it and flip it. That's what I'm trying to teach them. You don't get no cheese until you have 3 or 4 degrees. That's it.
Oh, that's super dope.
Yep.
I love that.
I don't think we can really hit on this enough. And we're all 4 former athletes. And really our mission now is more than anything to give back. I mean, we've made our money and we have families. We do a lot. And I think this platform is, you know, more special because we have a voice and people can listen to us, right? A lot of young guys. And you're just here talking. We just recently did Alex Rodriguez, Floyd, the champ. And they had a lot of gems. They, you know, talking about giving back, what they do, what influenced them. And, looking at our sports, football, 87% of the people, they're divorced, filing bankrupt or what have you when they retire.
Same thing in the NBA.
So, but people know you, and right? And they know what you stand for. They know you're approachable. They know your business ventures. My question to you is, do people reach out to you to help them or to give them some sort of direction?
No.
That's what's so mind-boggling to me.
You know how it is with these young cats. They make more money than we did and can't tell them nothing. I try not to be forceful. They know if they need something, they can holler, but I try not to be forceful because I was like that too. Well, okay, Magic, I know you took care of me when I first got to LA, but LA my shit now.
Right.
So I kind of understand that. Yeah, all right, whatever. It's my league now. Oh, Mike gone? This shit like so I know and understand, so I don't really come down hard on them, but that's why I always try to just lead by example. Lead by example, like it's simple. I was taught that when it's very difficult, you break it down to its simplest form. Like when he gave me that business book, I didn't know what the fuck I was looking at. And then I saw joint ventureship, I was like, partnerships. I can do that. It's easy. It's just like, being on the block, being in the game. You don't want to be the guy, but you can partner up with a guy and, still get the money. You know what I'm saying? Like you can give it to me, I can give it to Fred. Fred do what he do. Fred give me my cut. We straight. And that's how I look at, joint ventureship. You run it. You do all the work. I'm gonna be the partner, I'm gonna be the money guy, and then we just gonna split.
I love listening to you, talk business, but it's another reason I wear this colors. I tell people all the time, I'm not a Laker fan. I was a Kobe and Shaq fan. And I lived and I died with it, and I cried sometimes, and I was fired up sometimes. And when you have, it's very few championship teams or teams that become legends or dynasties where people aren't linked, whether it's, Magic and Kareem, Scotty and Mike. You and Kobe will forever be linked. And I think part of that story will also always be how many could they have won? When you look back on those times with him, what stands out to you?
We will always forever go down as the most enigmatic, most dominant, controversial 1-2 punch, big, little, ever. When you're dealing with a guy that wants it, keeps you on your toes. But let's talk in street terms. I had the block for a long time. But you got another kid who has the potential to run the block, he wants your block. Mm-hmm. So he gonna keep me on my toes. That's why I got the average 40. Like I'm looking at that, he got 25, I gotta get 40. So you look at our relationship, it was perfect, but it was non-perfect. Perfect that he made me play at a certain level, I made him play at a certain level, able to win 3. Did we get along all the times on the court? No. But we know in sports, that's how it is in the locker room. You give me a team where guys like each other, we're gonna bust their ass every time. Because you're too nice. And as a leader, you either focus on the task or you focus on the relationship. I had to focus on the task. The task was to win. So I'm the big brother, you the little brother, you may not like my ways. And he was different. He was extraterrestrial different. He's the guy that's gonna be in the gym 100 hours a day, not me. I'm 3 hours, then I'm going to South Beach, I'm going to Prime 112, then I get back when I get back. And he was like, no, we didn't. But it's different ways to win. But people always ask me, if you had to go back and do it again, what would you do? Nothing, because we won 3 out of 4. After we played, I wish we could have communicated more, because I still have sleepless nights, because I was hit with a double whammy. Sister passed away first, and I only saw her 4 times. And I'm quick to, I gotta go do this podcast, I'll call them later, and then never get to it. So when I found out, my sister called me on Thursday, like I'm in the hospital, I go see her. Hey baby, you okay? Yeah, I'm good. All right, I gotta go to LA, I'll be back on Sunday. You want me to stay? I can't, no, I don't cancel. I leave. As I'm on the plane, she passes away. So I'm sick about that. And I can't sleep now. Like I'll be watching Netflix and I'll be watching a whole bunch of shit. So then one day I'm sitting in the house and my son come up crying. So you know when your son come up crying, you try to think about before, like, oh, is it grandma? Is his mom? Is it my mama? And he said, yo, man, Kobe just died in a helicopter crash. And I was just watching the night before when LeBron passed him up. I was like, y'all bullshit. It's a hoax. Stop it. And Shawnee called me crying. And I said, hold on, let me verify it. And I called my guy from the sheriff office. He said it was true. I start crying. And I'm like, God damn it, I didn't even holler at him. Last time, you know, we did the sit down everybody was waiting for. That's the last time I hollered. Like, I didn't get the number. I didn't text him. I didn't holler him. And that still haunts me. All the shit we went through, we could have shook hands and put that aside. Because people think it was worse than it was. It's just two brothers going at it. Two guys with, you know, difference of opinion. I always tell people, after my first championship, when I go like this, it's 1 million motherfuckers in the arena. Who jumps in my arms first? So if we hate each other, how you have that moment? Look, I got a little brother, we argue all the time. My cousin lived with me, we argue and fight all the time. But the thing that kept us going was the respect. When I get double teamed, you know I'm looking for him. When he get double teamed by the rim, he looking for me. All that other shit that everybody was trying to boom, 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 boom. And then when I left, it wasn't about me and him, it was about the business of basketball. They wanted to go younger. They said, hey man, we owe you 40 next year, but you know, we don't want to give it to you. We want you to go down to 25. 25 plus FICA in LA, that's my fucking 12 million. I ain't doing that shit. I ain't doing that shit. No way, I got 5 kids. No, hell no. So then, you know, they said we're gonna trade you. And that's how I got to Miami. But being that I was who I was, I got to pick and choose where I go. Because I'm watching TV and I'm like, this motherfucker Miami, he nice.
Right.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to Miami. And that's how I got to Miami.
You have any regrets with
No.
Kobe?
Yeah,
With the whole LA situation? Because it seemed like it got to you, bro.
While we played, no, I don't have any regrets while we played, because that's how it is. That's how it was in high school. You got to jump on your boys jump on you. That's how it was at LSU. That is, but the respect was there. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna never disrespect you. You never disrespect me. But, you know, I think the people, and look, he had his guy he talked to. I had my guy who was talked to. But I was looking at it as a marketing standpoint. I want you to talk about me. I want you to talk about me. Please talk about me. Keep my name in your mouth, and you know, keep thinking we ain't gonna win. You know, we down a series. Keep thinking we're not gonna win, and you know, they made it look like, oh, they couldn't get along. Hey, it had nothing to do with that. I'm not going from 40 to 25. No way. And then I get to, you know, Miami, and they give me what I want. So no, I'm not gonna do that. But you know, it's like every basic karate movie. At some point, the young Jedi must take out the master. It's like every, you know, Godfather movie. I was a Godfather for a long time, and they clipped me, boom, boom, boom. They thought I was dead. I ended up in Miami, and I started a new family. So, and it's business. I didn't take it personal. The only thing I regret is I could have hollered.
Yeah.
Could have hollered.
What do you think kept you both from reaching out and doing that?
I don't have no excuses, but I work a lot, brother. I have a queen named Dr. Lucille O'Neal. I got to make sure she's straight. I got 2 wonderful ladies who gave me children. I got to make sure they're straight. I got 6 kids. I got to make sure they're straight. I got businesses to make sure people ain't. So I work a lot. That's an excuse. I shouldn't have an excuse. I should, because it don't take you nothing to go. But because we on the phone anyway. World Star, looking at this, they look TikTok, so it don't take you no time to be like, hey man, what's happening? Like a text or something. I never did it, he never did it. And that's what hurt me the most. It really does. I think about it all the time. And I have pictures of him in my house, so when I see him, I'm like, and I have pictures of my sister, and I can't sleep. So only thing about my sleep deprivation is I still get 6-7 hours. But tonight I'm gonna probably get home by 12, smoke some hookah, watch some TV, look at some highlights, and just be like 2, 3, 4, 5, and then probably get into bed about 6.
Wow.
And then wake up around 1. I can't sleep, brother. Can't sleep.
Share with us your favorite Kobe
My
memory
favorite.
or story that just makes you smile every time.
So I think it's our first year after we had the scare in Portland, but now we're in the finals. I foul out. Refs is bullshit in Indiana. I'm nervous because I'm like, fuck, if we don't win, I already know what's coming here. We up 3, they tie this, we're gonna be in trouble. Everybody's panicking on the bench, and Kobe goes, I'm like, motherfucker. And he whispers, I got you, big dog. That's what he says.
I got you, big dog.
Yeah, in that little 5-6 minutes, I'm on the bench like I knew he was nice, but I'm like, damn.
Went crazy.
Yeah, he went crazy. And then I just, look, I got the press conference and said, this motherfucker's the best player in the world. He is. No, he really is. Like, any motherfucker that's gonna tell you they're gonna, like, Mike was like that. But anybody that's gonna say, watch this, and they do it, and he was like that. Like, like his rookie year, he used to be practicing moves without the ball and shoot around, because he didn't start, so he'd be in the corner like, no, that's what motherfucker just be. Like, he shoot, he motherfucker get his elbow. He was doing all that, and people thought he was crazy, but you know, when they talk about that first in the gym and last in the league, that was him. He worked out like that. Like, he really wanted to be the best. Like, the best title is thrown around too much for me. I want to be the most dominant. I want my to be afraid of me. I don't forget all that best. I'm not, because my thing is, who I'm working out for? Tim Duncan? David Robinson?
Sean Bradley.
Chris Dudley. Chris Dudley still won't put hands on you.
Man, listen, who you put your nuts all on your shoulders? Al Dudley, and then mush him into the stand? Why you do that man like that, Shaq?
Because when I got the ball and I'm looking and you motherfuckers not doubling, I take that as a sign of disrespect.
But you ain't got to put your nuts on your shoulders.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. You better double, triple me. I take it as a sign of disrespect. That's why when we played Philly in the finals, I was going so hard at Dikembe.
Because they thought they were single.
No, he's like, I'm the defensive player of the year. We gonna see. Put this bow right in your face.
I was about to say, you did Dikembe wrong. That man just wanted world peace.
Nope.
He ain't even put his finger up no more. He was just shaking his fist. But Shaq, I gotta ask you, man. You know I'm the nasty one on the show. Bro, you're gigantic. Like I gave you dap, and my head hit your nipple when we dapped up. Bro, what challenges does your size give in sexual relations with a woman? I need 3 follow-ups because I have some stuff I had to ask.
I'm not answering that because you didn't ask Beasley that. So I'm
Shaq, you're huge. If you go missionary, like I like to go missionary and kiss when I'm doing it. If you go missionary, the girl licking your belly button. Like, I don't know, like, what goes on? Like, what's your sexual relations like? You're too big to have normal sexual relations.
I'm gonna save it myself.
What is it?
They say you got 5, 6 of them, Coach. You ain't saving yourself.
Right
you
now,
got 6 kids,
What is it called in the NBA right now when they saving themselves?
Low management.
Low
management.
Low
There's
management.
no low management. You got 6 kids. Like, what the challenge is there certain positions you can do? Like, what goes on when you're your size with a normal sized human being?
It's all about geometry. Yeah. So like if you like
He's
right
so
here,
excited.
Let me see. So you're the big bottle.
7'1".
Yeah,
look,
and
you
the
see
girl's the
you
little
see the
bottle.
head is right there. You see the
Okay.
midsection's right where it need to be.
But it's
Geometry.
not where it needs to be because I know where the genitals are.
And that's why you got to arch that back a little bit.
Oh, you got to look over.
That is crazy.
Oh, no.
This boy crazy.
I knew it was coming. I was waiting on it.
Bro, because I just don't know. Like, it like.
I'm saving myself. That's all I'm doing.
You're a virgin.
Yep.
Hey, but we started this whole thing, and the man said I made mistakes.
Yeah.
Right.
Them mistakes wasn't eating too many wings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what I do know is he ain't
yeah.
saving himself.
No. He can't 69. Do you 34 and a half? Or what do you do? Do y'all split options? Bro, I need to know, man. You big as shit.
This boy crazy right here.
That is crazy, man.
This is why I love this show, boy.
This guy, he's amazing. I just fill in. But I mean, for me, this is it for me, man, because I watch you guys a lot on TNT. I love everything you do, man, what you stand for. Business life, as a person, you know, you just straight up, you know, the Lakers. You would think me and Channing were cheerleaders. I got the Lakers jersey, he got the hat. What's up?
They suck
What's
now.
going on with them?
Charles said it and I didn't believe it, but starting to think about it. They may be a little too old. You know, with us being fans and us recognizing greatness, when you put those names together like this summer, I was like, ooh, Westbrook.
Right.
Ooh, Melo.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to do something, but, You know, the only knock on LeBron is that they don't fear him anymore.
Right.
He's older, and they know he's getting older. So these young, John Morant and them people, they don't care nothing about that no more. When you got that, and then you got guys made in and out, and you got Anthony Davis being nicknamed Street Clothes, the guy that's supposed to take him, he's not playing. It's not going to turn out great. And then, you know,
Color man, street clothes though.
I'm trying not to laugh, bro.
Barkley said that.
Yeah, Barkley hit him with the street clothes.
But I think you have to look at the people who put that together.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to get some younger people around Bron. And Russ was never seen him off like that before. I think, you know, a lot of things, you know, just got to his head. But hopefully they can come back. But I wouldn't think they'd miss the playoffs totally. But like they didn't even make the playoffs. So
I think Russ needs LASIK. I don't think he can see the rim.
You're not gonna. That's my favorite current player. You gonna stop?
Russell Westbrook?
Yes.
Bro, he can't shoot no more. He doesn't even hit the rim.
Sometimes it hits the backboard.
Sometimes. It's like Shaq shooting free throws.
I'll stop it.
That's like, yeah, I don't know. I thought Shaq needed, but I see now his eyes so close together. I see why when you get
Fred
close to
used to
the
sit
rim,
behind the
cross.
bench and talk shit when I miss free throw, but when I make him, I come back to the bench. He'd give me this.
Back in Miami.
Yes, back in Miami. He'd be like that.
No,
Stop it.
I was the
Shaq-
biggest.
Shaq-
I was a
Shaq, what happened?
big supporter.
Shaq,
bro.
what happened with the free throws, man? All them years, bro. You can't, this rim right there, you standing there. Bro,
First of all,
just throw them in there.
first of all, my average is 50%. That's make one, miss one. You talking to me like I don't hit.
50%?
Motherfucker, that's make one, miss one.
That is terrible.
You're right, but it's still make one, miss one. You're right, it's terrible.
That's
but
true. It's make one, miss one.
But you acting like I don't hit the motherfuckers at all. When I need to hit them, I'm gonna hit them. Like I said, he used to be behind the bench like.
Hey, that's because the basketball looked like an orange in his head.
No, he would, but then, like, you know, when I hit the ones that I need to hit, like, you know, game 4 against the Maverick.
Yeah.
One time.
But no. Does that have anything to do with it? Because I heard
No,
that's true.
it
Your
was-
hands are too big to shoot a ball because you hold that motherfucker like it's a marble.
It was
and you be looking all awkward.
I think it was a way to keep me humble. Imagine me being me and shooting like Steph Curry. I wouldn't even be here right now. I'd be so motherfucking arrogant. Think about that. I think it just kept me humble because it was something I knew, something I wasn't really good at. I had to work on, and it made me vulnerable. But I think about it all the time. If I was me, the way I played and shot that motherfucker like Curry 90%, you already can't tell me nothing. But just imagine me being that. I wanted to pass Wilt Chamberlain in up in points.
Yeah.
Because I was going to have a very arrogant press conference. I'm the most dominant motherfucker ever. I don't want to hear nobody else's name. Period. Shut up. So my question to the panel is, once LeBron passes Kareem, is that going to make him the best player ever?
No,
Okay. No?
MJ.
it does give him though the greatest career ever. I think
You ain't making no sense.
I'm making a ton of sense.
He passed. He's.
If he passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar barring points, he already passed. Your man Jordan in points. So
Yeah,
why,
but also,
so
too,
why
though,
that don't make him the best player ever?
Because when we're talking about the best player, that doesn't to me include longevity. The best player is the Shaq. I'm gonna say this, Shaq.
I don't have an answer.
Shaq, I'm a Michael Jordan, Kobe fan. Like I like
Me
killers,
too.
right? I like killers. And the thing I remember the most about Michael Jordan when he was at his peak, my pops was a Detroit Pistons fan. And he would walk around the house singing bad boys, and I would cry like when they would beat him, you know what I mean? And then when Mike really became Mike, I remember never having fear. Whether it was Utah, Phoenix, if it's Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, I never panicked. Because I was like, they got Mike.
Okay,
And
but-
the separation between Mike and the rest of the world was so big and so vast, it looked like he came from the future.
Okay, but
That's not Bron.
But we live in a world with titles, right?
Yeah.
So if Charlie with his lovely camera get 10 Oscars, and then my man get the same camera and he get 12 Oscars, wouldn't that make him better than Charlie? I'm just asking. So you
Why?
talking
Because
about?
you trying to say Bill Russell?
No, I'm just saying. Bron done passed everybody up, so how come he's not the best?
He's talking about not in titles, but in numbers,
In numbers,
and in
everything. He
stats,
done
and in
passed-
points,
he
and
passed
in
Kobe,
In
he
my
passed
book,
Mike.
Big Dog. In my book, I'm rocking with Bron. I love Mike growing up, but I'm looking at longevity. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at what Bron did.
I know exactly what Bron trying to do. He's trying to pass that man up in points.
Yeah.
Kareem.
Yeah.
For sure.
I
And he
would.
will.
It's coming.
No, he will. I would.
It's definitely here.
And that's going to be an interesting conversation.
So I think the last question I would have is, we've talked about many of your accolades and all the things that you've accomplished. And you sit in the same seat I sit in for football now. When you hear these players being compared to you, because they speak about them in dominance, the KDs, Giannis is a name they use very often in comparison to you. When you hear those things, are you like, shit, they ain't nowhere near as dominant as me?
Yes,
or is it
I do.
Wow.
Because a lot of times they just throw these words around based on 1 game, 2 game, 1 year. Like when you look at the things that Wilt and I did our whole career, nobody ever played me one-on-one. Like if I got played one-on-one and get 40, and then I come home, my father be like, you should have played, you should have had 60. They ain't W. I don't want to hear that 40. So he is playing great, but one, it's an honor to have these guys compared to me. It's an honor, but arrogantly and athletically speaking, I'm like, nah, they don't get no props. Giannis gets props. Everybody else, I don't want to hear no other names about what they doing, how to Embiid, all that. No. Giannis gets props. Because Giannis play. He play hard. He play strong. He don't care about the next guy. He not trying to leave his little ass city and go to a big city and get more props. I messes with Giannis.
But big men ain't respected like that no more, Shaq. I got to break it to you.
They ain't.
The big men ain't.
Because they like to step out and shoot threes. So like a guy told me one day, you couldn't play today. I said, I'd be dominant because I'm not going to do what everybody else do. I'm different. I ain't shooting no motherfucking three. As soon as Joe shoot a three, I'm going to run by his ass, Fred going to get the rebound, throw it to me, and I'm going to try to tear the motherfucking rim off. Every time.
But we talked about, even beforehand, and I'll wrap this, I'll let LSU brother wrap it, but I'll get close to it. But we talked about beforehand.
Because I don't want to be rapped by no Gator anyway.
Look at you, bro. Look at you. But we talked about the rule changes, NFL, that made the game better. It's softer.
It's softer.
The same thing with your league, with the NBA, right?
It's so soft.
So we talked about that. So we all can imagine what you would do in today's game.
I'm averaging 50.
Right.
The reason why I'm averaging 50, if you paying dudes $250, what you gonna pay me?
$300.
Yeah.
But
and then this is a flagrant foul. Your ass gonna be thrown out the game trying to stop me.
biggest pivot in life.
When you look at the situation that Shaquille O'Neal, with whatever arrogance, with whatever ego, with whatever accomplishments, the biggest change or adjustment you ever had to make, or a life-changing event that happened to you that caused Shaquille O'Neal to be different, what would it be?
You just realize that just because things you do may make it seem like you're perfect, you're not perfect. Big mistake in the Penny relationship. Big mistake in the Kobe relationship. Horrible mistake in both marriages. Other than that, I don't really dwell on a lot. But those things I really dwell on. Because one, I know better. And sometimes when you get, and I don't like to make excuses, but I had a lot going on. I was arrogant, I was dumb. And sometimes when you do a lot of stuff, you don't want to work at stuff. Like when I come home, I want it to be a certain way, but you're all married, and it ain't like that. They have feelings, they have wants too, and I ain't doing all that. So those are only 3 major regrets that I have. Everything else I try not to dwell on. Glad that I've lived my life and I did it my way. Talking to ugly ass boy over here. I don't hold back what I say. I'm not gonna disrespect you, but you're not gonna make me believe what you want me to believe. 50 years old. My way has been working, so I'm gonna continue to do it my way. And if I happen to say something and we go viral and all that, I'll know if I made a mistake when I get the call from the woman of my dreams, Dr. Lucille O'Neal. And then I'll correct it. If she called me and said, baby, don't do that. Don't do that. Then I'll say, I f***ed up. But if I don't get that call, you can tweet and write and complain and do all that. It don't matter. Because, we're supposed to be able to have a voice of opinion. I don't like dudes that went to University of Florida. That don't mean I'm gonna disrespect him. I don't like him.
I just wanted to say,
Hold on,
one
man.
regret.
Hey, man, I ain't finished talking.
One
man.
regret.
I don't like dudes that went to Arkansas. I hate dudes that went to Mississippi State. That's just how we are at LSU. But you ain't gonna change. Interrupt me one more time. We'll see what
Listen,
happens.
Shaq, I'm gonna dive on your big ass. Listen, nigga, you fucking with the wrong one. You know what? The biggest regret was your ass ain't wearing no motherfucking socks tonight. You ass your ankle motherfucker. My dad.
Hey, I want to say this, man.
Y'all can have me on this show anytime.
Hey, like Frank Sinatra said, man, you did it your way, man. We're so grateful you came in, dog. We appreciate you, my guy, dog.
Aristotle.
You stupid, dog. Appreciate you, big homie. Thank you, my dog.
Hold up, limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up. On the mission, got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Trust, limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up.